Hi, welcome to another video on the Targeted Individual Program, the Targeted Individual Experience. My name is Nigel Nicholson, and I am a TI, a Targeted Individual. Today I'm doing a video because recently an article came out in the New York Times talking about microwave weapons are suspect in the ills of U.S. embassy workers. And those of you who've seen my videos over the years, over the last decade, I've been talking about this, okay? And even before I started doing my videos in the early 2000s, I was talking about this, okay? So last year, when U.S. diplomats in Cuba were hit with microwave weapons, they called it sonic attacks then, but it was microwave weapons. Then later on, in China, the same thing happened to U.S. embassy workers in China. And so, but they again call it sonic weapons. The CIA, FBI, the NSA, Pentagon all say that no such weapon exists. But if you do the research, okay, and it will be difficult now, you might find documents directly from the U.S. Army, the Department of Defense, that talks about microwave weapons or direct to energy weapons. They are U.S. patents, okay, on microwave weapons. Technology such as the silent sound spread spectrum to beam voices into your head, to control your thought by making you believe that it is your thought that you are listening to, okay? Then there's V2K, in which they can put any voice in your head. There's bone conduction technology, in which you can hear sound that is resonated through your bones. Okay? There is what is called vibrational acoustic technology, in which sound is used to vibrate your body. Okay? Then there is the LRAD, okay, which is a sort of directed energy weapon in which, when aimed at an individual or individuals, it feels like your skin is burning. And they had used this for crowd control in the 2004 presidential election, right? With George W. Bush and Al Gore, okay? They use that right here in New York. So the New York City Police Department are very familiar with these types of technology and these types of weapons, because they've been using it on me as target practice, as experimentation for well over a decade, going on 2 decades now. Okay? So, U.S. embassy workers, New York Times. Microwave weapons are prime suspect in ills of U.S. embassy workers. Doctors and scientists says microwave strikes may have caused sonic delusions. Now, what is sonic delusions? Because it has to do with sound, right? And we know that certain frequency can cause you to panic. It can cause you to have sickness, such as vomiting, feeling of queasiness. So sonic delusions and very real brain damage among embassy staff and family members. So these technologies are not non-lethal technology. So when they say directed energy being non-lethal, that is a lie. It is to sanitize these weapons, because these weapons are very lethal. Okay, they can give you cancer, damage your brain, ultimately give you mental illness, cancer. You can have a brain aneurysm. Like for me, when they use the technology on me, I suffer from severe headaches. And also, I know when I'm being microwaved, and my family's being microwaved, because synchronization goes on as well as the headaches. And my children do certain things that the adults who target me when I go outside would do inside. So that's how I know. Okay? Plus, again, a lot of police harassment that I receive and I'll show you in the video after I finish talking about this. Okay, so during the Cold War, Washington feared that Moscow was seeking to turn microwave radiation into covert weapons of mind control. And in 1979, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, the diplomats were experiencing the same symptoms that these diplomats are experiencing now. The U.S. feared that the Russians were using microwave weapons. Now, why did the U.S. fear that? Because the U.S. was also developing microwave weapons at the time. Okay? More recently, the American military itself sought to develop microwave arms that could invisibly beam painfully loud booms or even spoken words into people's head. See, now this is how, and again, I'm reading from the New York Times, and let me say this. The New York Times has been exposed, okay, in the past of being paid by the CIA and the Pentagon to write favorable stories about those agencies and about situations leading up to the Iraq War in after it was it 2005 2006, you know. So again, so when they say more recently, that's a lie. They have developed these weapons for decades. They've been developing these weapons for decades now. It is not just recently, okay? And if you look back at TI's, Google targeted individuals, and you can look back, you can see videos all the way from 2009, 2008, even earlier, possibly. Or you can search the web for blogs about targeted individuals. And they even go back further that talks about what is happening to these diplomats here. Okay? The aim were to disable attackers and wage psychological warfare. And what do I talk about on my calls and also do my videos? Psychological warfare, right? Coercive persuasion programs. Now doctors and scientists say such unconventional weapon may have caused the baffling symptoms and ailments that, starting in the late 2016, hit more than 36 American diplomats and family members in Cuba and China. The Cuban incident resulted in the diplomatic rupture between Havana and Washington. The medical team that examined 21 affected diplomats from Cuba made no mention of microwaves in its detailed report, published in JAMA in March. But Douglas H. Smith, the study lead author and director of the Center for Brain Injury and Repair at the University of Pennsylvania, said in a recent interview that microwaves were now considered a main suspect and that the team was increasingly sure the diplomats had suffered brain injury. Everybody was relatively skeptical at first, he said, and everyone now agrees there's something there. Dr. Smith remarked that the diplomats and doctors jokingly referred to the trauma as the Immaculate Concussion. Strikes of microwave, some experts now argue, more plausibly explain reports of painful sound, ills, and trauma that do other possible culprits: sonic attacks, viral infection, and contagious anxiety. In particular, a growing number of analysts cite an eerie phenomenon known as the Frey effect, named after Alan H. Frey, an American scientist. Long ago, he found that microwave can trick the brain into perceiving what seems to be ordinary sounds. Scientists have known for decades that the brain can perceive some microwave sound. Of course they do, because they also know that at certain frequency, okay, that it actually mimics your brain wave pattern. Okay, so they can send you information and you thinking that it's your own thoughts. And this is where silent sound spectrum comes in. This technology is the main culprit for what is called silent subliminal. Okay, and also what is coercive psychological programming. Okay? So I'm not going to go on about this stuff, but I just want to also show that years ago, I would say 5 years ago, there was still a lot of information out there. Okay, you could have got PDF uh, manuals, not manuals, but presentation from the U.S. Army talking about direct energy weapons. Today, you cannot. Today, they are trying to scrub the web of any evidence, of any discussion about directed energy weapons and the symptoms that they cause. On TalkShoe, which is a show that a website that has a talk format. I have done shows from 2009 or 2008, 2009 up until last year, and they have deleted, okay, all my shows from 2009 to 2014, okay, because they are trying to hide what they have been doing. Okay, so this website that I pull up here is called U.S. Coalition Against Covert Harassment. Okay, and again, people want to say, oh, this is all conspiracy theory. Well, guess what? It's coming out to be conspiracy fact. So it's no longer conspiracy theory. Okay, they will try their best to suppress the information so that because they don't want to be held accountable for what they've done to us as targeted individuals. Okay, and also exposing the fact that it may be them that are attacking their own diplomats to cause a rift between those countries, China and the U.S. and Cuba and the U.S. Okay, so one of the things that they have done, like I said, is I don't know. Listen. Excuse me. So they have been doing their due diligence to delete all information on the internet regarding to directed energy weapons, particularly microwave mind control technologies. Okay, and so this site here is U.S. Coalition Against Covert Harassment. Okay, and you'll see they have a bunch of links here. Okay, so this is links to some of the technologies and some of the stories by TIs. And when I click on these links, can't find the site. Now these links used to be up. Okay, all of a sudden can't find the sites. Okay, so let's go, and I'm looking at Cheryl Walsh. Okay, she was a target individual that did a lot of research about directed energy weapons. Okay, before you could have went to her website, which is mindjustice.org. Now can't find the sites. They are busy covering up what they have been doing. Okay, they do not want you guys to do any research on this stuff. They are going dark, and they have been going dark for the last 2 years, 3 years. Okay, so this is what they do. This website, psychologicalharassment.com, they have taken it down for about a few days, but thank goodness it's back up. And this is a psychological warfare that uses directed energy weapons, microwave weapons for mind control, okay? As well as the illegal microchipping. So, just to make that clear, all right? So let me go on to the video, because this is what I really want to get onto today, to show again the ongoing harassment. And so let me start this video. So this was last night, okay, September 5th. I'm on my way home, okay, and I'm not gonna play the entire thing because the video is like 18 minutes long, and you know, on my way home, you know, there wasn't so much targeting, okay, driving home wasn't, you know, a lot of targeting, just a few people, a few perps that were standing up in the street on the corner, what have you. Let me give you this is one particular perp I remember. This is a block that I normally turned on. Let's go down here. Okay, so right here, okay, see this guy here? So he sees me as I'm driving, he's gonna walk over here, okay, and he has his wallet in his hand. He's far, so you might not be able to see it, but he has his wallet in his hand, and they like to do that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Earlier on in my targeting, they had set me up to get robbed, and the perp robbed me with a gun and took my wallet. And so from time to time, whenever when they plan fail, for whatever setup they want to do fail, they will strategically place people on the corner, street corners, and when they see me, they'll walk towards me, what have you, and they'll have their wallet in their hand and to show me. Okay, so this is what they do, and this again, and they're using the power of association, right? So he's looking at me. He got his wallet in his hand. There's another perp here again. See that? So you see here. See how they work in tandem? He's over here. Another perp is gonna come and walk. He touches his ears. As I'm driving, he's gonna turn around. Now he's gonna walk by the other way. Okay? So, alright. I'm just humming. Skip some of this part. So okay, so I pulled up on my block in front of my building. Okay, and I'm waiting for parking. Okay, now. Yeah, I'm waiting for parking. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even play the video. Oh, shoot. Okay, let me go back. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let me just rehash. So here we go. So here's the perp, this guy right here, okay? He has his wallet in his hand, and as I said, they use the power of association. So early on in my targeting, they set me up to get robbed, and my wallet was stolen, as well as my watch. And So from time to time, when their plan is not working, okay, they will do this. They'll place guys in the corner. When they see me, they'll have their wallet in their hand, looking at it and looking at me. Now you'll see this perp over here. He comes, touches his ears. Okay. So let's walk in. As I'm driving, he's going to turn around and walk the other way. Okay. So you have to excuse me. I'm tired, so that's the reason why you didn't see. You know, the video, because I forgot to click the video on. Okay, all right, so let's go and let's get to where I'm on my block. Okay, so you see the perp. So here you go. So I'll pull up. See the perp, he comes, stands up here. I'm gonna stick his finger in his ears. You'll see him. There you go, he's wiping his hair. And then he's gonna stick his finger in his ears. Maybe he come back and he'll do it. Well, I guess he just played with his hair, but that's the stuff that they do. Okay. And I thought he had stuck his finger in his ears, but you know, again, it's that hand signal. You know, playing with their hair. And notice that I didn't stop paying him any attention because he didn't even go in the building. He's actually standing out there, and you're gonna see me turn the car mount, so he comes back again. I'm turning it. Perp pinches his nose. Standing up there. Yes, the camera's on you. Let's see if you can get a zoom up shot. See pinching his nose. Let's see if you can get a zoom up shot. He moved out of the way now. Goodbye, perp. Let the perp go into the building. Goodbye, perp. Okay. So he pinched his nose. He definitely pinched his nose, and this is what another signal that they'll use. All right. The whole pinching the nose thing. So that was last night. And now this morning, the 6th, I'm driving. You know, again, pull up behind the vehicle. Again, and I'm a 32 in the license plate. I gotta get a little closer. There you go, 32 027. Okay. So there we go. So he's gonna turn. Let's go back. All right. And now you'll see that vehicle, that silver SUV, makes a U-turn. They love to make U-turns in front of me too. This is something that they do. Remember, this is all silent subliminal, okay? All right. Let's keep going. All right, and then eventually I made the turn. I have to go back, but eventually I made the turn. Alright, and then I'm gonna pull behind the NYPD SUV. Okay? All SAPs. So I'm on my way to the children's place. And the funny thing is that, you know, I have to go to the children's place to exchange some pants that I bought for Alyssa and Ethan. I bought the wrong color. I bought navy blue instead of black. Or I didn't think I bought the wrong color, but they may have, you know, sent me navy blue, because they'll do stuff like this. Okay, because their uniform is black and white. Okay? So the color they send me is called Tidal, right? So it's a navy blue color, but they call it Tidal. Okay. I just want to do this real quick. So here I am, pulling into the parking space. Okay. You see this guy standing there? He's a perp. The minute I got there, he starts doing hand signal. So monitoring me inside the home. I was telling Pam that I'm going to go to the children's place tomorrow, right before I left her house, to exchange the pants. So they already know. They already stationed their perp there. This is like when I was being programmed using Silent Sound Spectrum on the weekend, when I didn't have to go pick up my son Bryce. He was very young at the time. I would get up in the morning on my weekend on a Saturday and go directly to the Barnes and Nobles on 14th Street. And when I get there, they will have one or two perps outside, and immediately when they see me, they'll do this. You know, both of them be like, "Yeah, he came. Give me the thumbs up, right? All right." And so this is, you know, the same thing that they're doing here. Okay. And this woman here, let's see if I can get that exact moment where she stick her finger in her ear. Right here. Okay. So right here, she's sticking her finger in her ears. Let's go back at it. I wish I could do this in slow motion so you guys can see. Sticks her finger in her ears. And then go into the Barnes and Noble. Okay. Not Barnes and Noble, I'm sorry. The children's place. Alright, so again, this is the stuff that they do. Right? Stuff like this. Placing civilian perps to the business establishment, the restaurant, wherever it is that you're going, they will place them in front of that establishment to target you. And then here comes, you'll see, and it's always a white person. Whenever they target me like this, right? If there's a black person standing in front of the establishment, there's a white person walking towards me, sticking their finger in their ears, right? Basically, how I interpret that is that, you know, these white individuals are controlling all these groups, ethnic groups, right, to target me. Okay. And like I said, they've been microwaving us, me, Pam, have her again walking. I'm in the living room and she'll walk in. She come home from work, stripped down, just be in her panties and bra, and I kept walking back and forth in the living room with the palm of her hand facing towards me. Right, she'll walk whether it be down or on her behind, but the palm would be always be facing me. Okay, and then we had went grocery shopping on Saturday, and I kind of made a joke with her, and she kind of she I was joking. I said to her, the doctor said I should eat more pink meat. Just playing with her. It's a naughty joke, and she was like, nah, you need to eat more beef sausage, and I was like, what? I was like, because the way I said the joke, it was just her trying to tell me that I should be gay, and again, this is, I should go suck a, what have you, but this is what they do, right? How they try to insult you in very subtle ways especially with using her when I'm joking with her and stuff like that, because they will use sex as a weapon against me. They will use her, when we were together. They will use sex as a weapon. Like, if I didn't do what they say, then she would withhold sex from me. Okay, and so like every time I would do a video, she would withhold sex from me. And I recognize the pattern. It's a reward and punishment thing that they do. So this is me leaving the chairman's place, and I'm going back in the opposite direction. There was a woman standing here right by this Chase Bank. Okay, now I didn't see the police car that was parked up because this car was blocking my vision, the one in front of it, and I had forgot to put my phone on the car mount. So she was standing right here giving me hand signals, and then when I put my phone on the car mount, she walked over to the street, but I didn't see who she was talking to until the car started moving. So these perps are a bunch of chicken shits. They see the police right here, and they had a perp lady standing by the Chase Bank, right? This is her right there. Yeah, so she is right there. So she was standing over here, and when I put the camera on when I put the phone on the car mount to take pictures, she's standing up there giving me hands. She walked over. As the police siren was going off. So they think they're slick, but again, exposing everything that they're doing is what you got to do. There goes the red team. Exposing their tactics. The red team. So they station her by the Chase Bank. Trying to send me subliminal message, about my disability, because my direct deposit it goes to my account with Chase. Okay, so they'll station people outside of the bank, Chase Bank, not any other bank, not Bank of America, not what's the other bank? Some of the two biggest banks. Okay, you got Bank of America, and you have Chase is one, but the other one, I forgot. But there are other banks too. Like Capital One, which is another one, and I can't remember those banks. But that's just to show you how what they've done to me has affected my memory, right? Because my short-term memory is shot to shit, okay, and I get fragments of my long-term memory, and so this is the damage that they've caused. And also lately, not lately, but a couple months ago, I started to experience pain in my fingers, and then the headache. So I went to my doctor. I went and got a MRI, brain scan. I got an MRI on my right index finger and my right. I got an X-ray on my right index finger and an MRI on my right hand, and my doctor told me that I have degenerative arthritis in my hand. Now I'm 47 years old. For the most part of my life, I ate healthy. I worked out. And when you're targeted, put under so much stress, Okay, not also does it mentally negatively affect you, but it physically negatively affect you too, because you will develop illnesses. Or if, let's say, if I hit 65, I have arthritis, what have you. Being attacked with these weapons and being placed under stress with the psychological program warfare, it it brought on those symptoms way earlier. Okay, and you might even get illnesses because of the stress that you're put under. Your body breaks down, and so this is what I just found out. Okay, so now not only did they damage my back with the vibration linguistic weapon, but also, whatever the stress I'm under, now I have degenerative arthritis in my fingers. Okay, and I still haven't gotten the brain scan. They still have not. I went to the doctor, the neurologist, last Wednesday, and they never sent the results to him. They sent the MRI for my hands and the X-ray for my hands, but they didn't send the scan, the brain scan, the MRI brain scan. Right? They never sent it to the neurologist. So what are they trying to hide? I've been talking about being microchip, right, for the purpose of remote neural monitoring. So they do not want me to get any evidence. Okay, so they will go to those establishments, withhold the scans, switch the scans with somebody else's. Okay, but I'm telling you what's happening because I want to expose this. Okay, and that's what I'm explaining in these videos exactly what's going on. Okay, so let's move on.
Which is the bank
So,
I get my in which my Social Security check is deposited every month. And again, it's the constant threat of having your disability taken away, or if you continue to get disability, they will find something to incarcerate you, arrest you for, so you can lose your disability. This is what they do to me as a TI and others. The TI is in a concentrated, precise form. They do it overall to a lot of black people overall. Who may rely on Social Security.
also, I've been informed by another TI that a lot of the TI's call, the target individual calls now, are basically white, extreme Christians who are Trumpsters. Okay? And that whenever time a person of color get on one of these calls and start talking about discrimination, they're muted. So that should give you an idea. Okay?
Disability as a means of support, financial support. And that's why there's a lot of mass incarceration among men of color, and it's something that people don't talk about. It's because they're either unaware or they're part of the coercive persuasion system. Right? I had not uploaded, but I shared a video of a 21-year-old who a police officer lied and say that he shot at him, right? When in fact it was the cop who fired his own gun, right, to have this kid arrested. Okay, and the cop turned off his body camera because he had a body camera on. He turned it off and claimed that the kid tried to shoot at him. Now, they didn't find any gun. They didn't find any gun residue on the kid's hands. The only casing and bullet that they found was from the cop's gun. Okay? So, there they go.
So notice how they slow down, right? Notice how they slow down. So now I'm sandwiched between this NYPD van and these police in this car. Okay?
Hear them hitting the sirens.
You hear him? He's going, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
yeah, I see it on the
Yeah,
loudspeaker.
but this is again, but this is what they do, man. This is how
This is the
they
stuff that
target me, you know. So let me see here. I don't think there's anything, you know, important. Okay. Yeah, these kids are, you know, I got to I got to finish up. So anyway, so this story that I talk about with this young kid, okay. Um, Let me see if I can. I think I did. I pull it up. We'll go to Facebook. Um, where is this at? Here it is. Okay.
Cam in body cam. I got on the ring. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no gun at all.
So you were there?
Yes, I was. I didn't have no gun. That was my car. I didn't have no gun. I'm innocent. I asked them to take a lot of tests and everything. I tried to get DNA, everything. I didn't have no gun. And whatsoever, they had buku people out there. They got witnesses. The people who was in my car gave them names. I didn't have no gun. I'm innocent. I'm only 21 years old. They should record. They got the body camera, the dash cam.
But the cop turned off his body cam. So what happened is that now the story is that they dropped all the charges against this kid, right? And this cop clearly lied, it says, and should be investigated. Only bullet they found was his, the cops. He was clearly willing to ruin this kid's life. Now, there are a lot of police officers out there, a lot of white police officers out there who constantly do things like this. There are a lot of black men in jail because of white racist cops, okay, as well as crooked cops in general, okay. And this is what has been happening. And when black people try to talk about this stuff, a lot of white people, they don't want to hear it, okay. You see, because they know that this system was created and built for them, and we as people of color will never get true equality because they don't want to have true equality. Okay, so you have to understand that. But I just wanted to bring this up because, you know, when I talk about targeted individuals, okay, I'm talking about not just me, all right, but other people of color who may not get the full blunt of targeting the way we TIs are being targeted. Okay, when I say we TIs target individual, I mean those of us who have been put into a non-consensual human experiment program, the use of direct energy weapons, microchipping, okay, concentrated psychological program to discredit, okay, to entrap us, right, to make a false narrative come true in the minds of the architect of these programs. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this stuff happens all the time, all the time, all the time. Okay, so you know, I mean, it's a shame. It's horrible. It shouldn't be happening, but it is. You know, and for those who think that these things don't happen, that's why Colin Kaepernick takes the knee. And people want to get upset and saying he's disrespecting the flag. He's not disrespecting the flag. Okay? You guys, the one talking about he's disrespecting the flag, are the ones that disrespect the flag. Please. Y'all have 4th of July cookout. And what do? You buy napkins with the American flag on it. And what do? You wipe your mouth with it. You put it in the trash. The plate that you eat off have the American flag printed on it. You eat off of it and you throw it in the trash. Okay? So please. He is doing it to bring attention to the police brutality, the killing of unarmed civilians. the oppression of people of color. That's what he's bringing the attention to. And guess what? It was a veteran that told him to take the knee, because he was sitting down during the national anthem. And he said, okay, you know what? You're right. I respect that. I respect you. I will take the knee. Okay? But yet, y'all applaud Mr. Trump, who colluded with the Russians to steal the election, to have Russian influence. This is all about racism and bigotry. And the fact that Trump is president, and now a lot of white people feel now they can be as racist as ever. They can be outwardly racist instead of being hidden in the closet. And that's what's going on now. Okay? So don't make it seem like, you bad at Kaepernick because he's kneeling. No, you mad at Kaepernick because he's bringing attention to the rest of the world of what goes on, the crimes that's being committed against people of color. And guess what? And white people too. Poor white people also. Okay? So he's just not taking a knee for people of color, but also poor white people. Okay? And you got poor white people out there who think that they're vastly superior than black people. Even though, they have the same struggles, but because of their skin color, they feel like they're better, which is a damn shame. Which just show you how effective white supremacy is. And the fact that, that a white person could be as poor as dirt, but he still feel he's better than a black person who got their stuff together, who's, has a nice house, car, family, what have you, doing extremely well. But because they're black, that poor white person still think that they're better. And let me tell you something. No one is better than anyone. Okay? We all have talents. We all have flaws. You might be smart in one way. I might be smart in another way. I might be athletic in one way. You might be athletic in another way. It's just the differences. And the differences should not tear us apart. It should bring us together, as well as our likeness. Okay? So, that's it for the video. I'm going to do another video again because, they're going to continue with the targeting. And so I got to continue recording and exposing it.